the month is going on, you go room by room and kind of declutter your whole house and life. And I think it's a really important thing to just kind of shed the stuff and, having a system for things and a place for things. And so you always know, and life is just a little more smooth that way. So with that being said, organized office, important so that you are able to pop into your office to do 15 minutes of work, 20 minutes of work, whatever, how many ever minutes of work it is, if you have a small window, without overthinking like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to find my booking scripts. I don't know who I'm calling. Where's my customer list? Blah, blah, blah. If it's organized, that isn't going to stop you, right? Because it's already like half the time where we don't really want to go do those icky parts that we have to do that are the important parts. And so being able to remove that piece of it as another excuse is really important. So actually, I'm going to have girls raise your hand if you have a dedicated, like a Mary Kay office, like is just Mary Kay and not like a bedroom or. So we've got 1, 2. Okay, so just a few girls don't, and that's okay. So we're going to talk about kind of both parts of that. So having a dedicated Mary Kay office, I have one now. This wasn't always. This was Elizabeth's bedroom, and then we had converted our loft space that was kind of our open office playroom, and we converted that into a bedroom about 3 or 4 years ago. And then this front room became our office. So my husband and I kind of share the office, which I've sort of mostly kicked him out, except for this one picture of his work truck from when he started his business, because he doesn't need much. He works a landscape business, so he doesn't really need much in the office. So I worked this without having an office dedicated for a long time. And so, that's not something that should stop you. So you can have a space in your home, and we'll talk about that. Or we can revamp your office that you have currently and kind of make it better. So the one thing is that you want to keep in mind is with your business to try to have respect for your family, that your Mary Kay isn't all over the home, right? That you don't have product tote bags over here and the entryway is covered with that. You've got kitchen table with all the stuff. Try to keep it strategic. And so it's in your dedicated space, or, if you're traveling throughout the home, working at the kitchen table or the bedroom desk or whatever, that maybe you have a tote bag or a little basket or a bin that is your, dump it all in when you're done working, something like that. That's like a dedicated little thing. And then the other thing is you don't want this to have to cost you a lot of money. So we're not going to go to, the Closet Factory store, or whatever, and spend bajillions of dollars renovating our office, because it's not necessary, right? And we're in this to make money, not to spend money to have an office. So go around the house and use what you might have. I've used in the past, I have shoe boxes and I just wrap them with wrapping paper, and that becomes my product storage boxes. The boxes that our product come in is cute, right? It says Mary Kay. Use that as storage boxes. For a while, when I didn't have my dedicated office, which this closet now is where all my product is, I actually had half of our pantry. We have a really big walk-in pantry, so half of it was family and food and all the stuff, and the other half is Mary Kay, was Mary Kay. Now it's become less Mary Kay in there. It's mostly in here, and the dog crate is in there. So that's just kind of interesting. But so you can have a linen closet, maybe if you have an extra shelf or two in your linen closet, and that's where your product is stored. So just kind of get creative on that. Or maybe it's like a rolling cart. Really depends on how much. Everybody's going to have a different amount of product, right? So just kind of get creative and think about that. Do you have extra organizing bins in another room as you're kind of organizing the house this year that you could use those for product, and just kind of cleaning things out? You'll find things that you can save and use, and they don't all have to match. It doesn't all have to be perfect, and that's okay. We're not wanting to spend lots on that. And Linda Tupin, actually, she posted something about that this morning when she started her business. Tracy, did you see that? You're nodding your head. she had, her desk was a waterlogged desk that like the drawers don't open because it had gotten waterlogged at some point. I don't know if she got it for free or whatever, but like the drawers wouldn't open anymore because, you know, the wood had swelled. And then she had milk crates that she borrowed from behind the Dairy Queen for her product storage. So, so that's kind of like, hello, Linda Tupin, million dollar director and national. If she can do that, we can do that. So, all right. So, let's see. Okay, so having a dedicated space. So for those girls that don't have an office, open up your mic for a second and kind of tell me if you have a little space in your home that you sort of use. So like a little desk in your bedroom, or what does it look like? Or is it always different every time?
So I have my product in a dedicated shelf space in the bedroom, but then when I'm doing stuff like this, I'm mostly at the kitchen table.
Okay.
I misunderstood your question at first. I don't have an office. I just kind of made my own office by cutting my dining room in half. So this is my dining room table, but from here over, this is my office space with my little desk.
Good. So that's good though, because you've got that laid out space and it's just for that, right? Yeah, good. Who else that might not have a dedicated? Tina, go ahead.
Currently my stuff is on my piano, but I have a closet in my bedroom. It's a walk-in closet that I've been converting into an office. And hopefully I'll have that done maybe this week.
Good. Okay, perfect. And then Joanne, how about you?
Yeah. So I'm kind of in three places because I don't really have a dedicated space. I do have all of my product in a bedroom. It's like a guest bedroom. So it's like, if we have guests, it's like, hope you guys don't mind. It's
Right.
Mary Kay in this bedroom. So that's where all my product is. And I generally do my work at the kitchen table. And then I come to this back room for Zooms because it's quiet and the lighting is pretty good. So,
Okay, good.
yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Michelle?
Well, I used to have an office, and then with the homeschooling stuff that started going on, virtual learning, I had to convert half of my space. So I share a lot of it now. So it's kind of dwindled down a little bit, and I have to try to figure out how to make it work.
Okay. And do you have a place where your product is kind of stored and tucked away?
Yes, yes. I have a little closet. But I do my meetings.
Yeah, guys, I got to plug in my laptop. This is eating up the battery really fast. All right. Okay, so it sounds like everybody kind of has a space that they can work with and make better. Or if you already have your office, obviously you can work on that space. So here are some things that I would say are pretty key to having your office working, organized, and all that stuff. For sure, we have a printer, right? We've got to print our shipping labels. We've got to do all those things. A desk or a table, obviously. Inventory storage, we touched on that. Shoe boxes, little crates, whatever you can find around the house. You also want to have those accordion file folders. If you don't have a file cabinet, which we happen to have one because I like to file a lot of things. We have our landscape stuff in one drawer and then family and MK in the top drawer. But accordion files, or even like those plastic tote ones, you know, that's kind of like a file box. I used that in the past. So that's really important. So you can file all your taxes and receipts and things like that. And then what else? I would say, you know, really our business is pretty paperless overall. I don't know if you other director girls would agree with me, but I am fairly paperless once I get everything in my customers' So you want to be making sure you're using the My Customers app. You're going to not have as much paper hanging around the house and receipts and profile cards and all those things. And that's going to keep things much more organized. So the profile cards, once they're entered in, I shred them unless they were a zero purchase or they had some super special important notes on them. Then they go into my brain book, and we're going to talk about the brain book. So utilizing that My Customers app is going to save your office from paper pandemonium.
Emily?
And then
Emily?
also you want to have a 3-ring. Oh, Tina, what? Did you raise your hand?
Are you frozen or is it just my computer?
No. Yes.
It's not
He's
just you.
frozen.
It's been going in
Yes.
and out for me.
But we can't see you now, honey.
We
I
can
don't
hear you,
know.
but we want to see. I mean, we see a frozen screen of you, but at least doing a decent pose.
Okay. Let me log. I'll get my
Oh,
phone.
there you are again.
Okay. Maybe we'll try that. So did you talk about go paperless?
We heard everything. We just couldn't see you.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me? Are we good now?
But now you're on twice.
I know. Am I back? Let me hang up this then. Okay.
Oh,
Are we good now?
No, we still can't see you, honey.
Let me hang up this then. Sorry, I don't know what to do about that.
Maybe just log completely out and then log back in.
How's this?
Yeah.
It's a black screen.
Am I still frozen?
No, it's a black screen.
That's weird.
Okay.
Maybe just log in.
I'll leave this and I'm going to use my phone.
Okay.
But can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Turn your video off and then on. Okay.
I think she did that.
Okay.
I would think, at least.
Okay. So my first office was a box with pillows around it in this kind of interesting, like half room, half kind of office in our first house. And I would have people up and I would put a tablecloth over the box. And that's where I would do my facials. And that's how I earned a car. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do have to have a space. Okay, oh, buddy.
It's all right. We don't need to see her. She could just talk, I guess.
Yeah, she can just talk.
All right. Am I good now? I just typed in the computer and I got it. No? All right.
I mean,
We can hear you
Okay,
though,
let's
so
do
just
it.
talk.
Am I coming through clear on audio now? So is that good?
yeah,
Mhm.
you're fine on audio, as long as you don't need
No,
to
it's
show
not.
anything.
Okay. All right.
Can
Okay.
everybody
So,
hear her? Can
all
everybody?
right, so
hear her?
paperless girlfriends, just release the paper and, huh?
Go ahead, sweetie.
Okay. And then whatever paper you do need, like profile cards that you have to save, are gonna go in your brain book binder. So you're gonna need to get yourself a 3-ring binder. Thumbs up, we hear that, we're good? Give me some nods. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so the 3-ring binder is basically like your mobile office then. So that becomes your mobile office because our business is very mobile. We can take it with us anywhere. If we're racing out of town, if we're gonna go on a road trip, I grab my brain book and I take that with me and I work from the passenger seat. Or if you are, maybe you don't have a dedicated space in your home, you can take your little brain book around wherever you go. And so in your brain book is, you know, like those profile cards to follow up with. You have your spiral notebook. Does everybody have that spiral notebook with all the different sections And that is like your people, like gold. It's like your people gold. So Linda Chupin trains on this, and it's your master notebook. And so this is, I know Lenny uses them. Yep. This is your sections for people and all the stuff. So it's like your high priority of who you're going to book and all those things. 5 goes in there in your brain book, and it's ready to go. And so when you have this list, you're not going to have sticky notes everywhere. You're going to have all the people that you think about, like, oh, you know, I want to book so-and-so, put her in the book until you book her. You know, all of that is just organized, and you don't have sticky notes and things everywhere. And leads, when you do events, when we go back to doing events, that's in here. Referrals you can put in here. If you want to remove them off of the back of the profile card. So all of that goes in that master spiral notebook, which then is in your brain book, and it's all ready to go. And so this has my leads in there and all kinds of things. Yes.
Okay, so the spiral notebook, that's just all people that you are being active with.
Right. Okay. And so there's, you can do 3 sections. So Linda talks about having a high section, a medium section, and a low section. So the high is where most of our time is spent, right? People connections and all that. The medium section would be things related to preparing your office, processes that support the people, and things like that. And then the low would be the list of things that can be delegated once you have a system for it. So some of that might come later as you're moving up the career path, that low, like the more delegation, right? So that's what your masterminder is. And Jen, we call it the list. So it's the list, right? So you've always got that list. And then you can go through it, and like for when I was doing, when we started virtual, I would highlight them after they had attended my virtual event so that I knew. And so you can just kind of have a system, and then you can see. And sometimes I'll even put in next to it the dollar amount they spent from that virtual event. And so it also becomes sort of a looking back guide. And then maybe from that list of people that you ended up booking, then you can then talk about team building. So that's a whole nother ball that we can roll into here. All right, so moving on though, to try and stay focused. Virtual business and some customer service type office supplies, I would say. Right now, because everything is so virtual and we're mailing everything, you guys really consider getting a Dymo, D-Y-M-O, the Dymo label printer for your printing of shipping labels. So this thing has saved me bajillions amounts of time. No joke, like I'm not even exaggerating. I mean, every order gets mailed for the most part, right? And this thing, like you put it in pirate ship and it just prints it out. Before I was like cutting and then clear taping it, and it was just this whole thing. And I literally can do, like it takes a minute and a half per package, no joke. So it just whoop, dick, done. Yes.
So pirate ship is another system or a free service that you can get, right? So maybe we can talk on the side about that if you have questions about pirate ship. But the Dymo printer, is that an actual printer?
Yeah, let me show you. It's you can see it's like just this little guy. So it's a little printer.
Dymo is the brand, and you can order them on Amazon. They're usually between $80 and $100. And they come with labels that are self-adhesive.
So here's the details on which one. Yep, it's I got it on Amazon. It's the Dymo Label Writer 450. So Dymo Label Writer 450, and the label that you need is the large lever arch 99019. So the large lever arch 99019. And I'm telling you guys, it's worth the investment. Like I made that money back in no time. Okay, so pirate ship, you need to have a free pirate ship account. Talk to your director about pirate ship if you don't know yet. A ring light for office now. We need a ring light because we're doing virtual appointments and things. Some kind of a clean background for filming, or you can do like Lenny, go to San Francisco. I sometimes, when I'm doing my virtual, I don't actually do them here. I do them in my bathroom. We just remodeled our bathroom and it's got really great light. I don't even need my ring light usually. So when I'm doing my quick little customer videos, I do them in my bathroom. And so you can have a separate place to do your Zooming. And then go on Office Depot. So this is another office system, and use the Office Depot perks when you're printing things and for shopping for business supplies. So if you're on Mary Kay In Touch and you go to the ordering tab, the MK Connections approved vendors that are in there is where you can get the Office Depot information and the discount card. And you can even upload your documents straight to that and have it sent to your home so you don't have to pick them up. So if you go through that through there, then you can do that. And it saves you so much time. You don't even have to go to Office Depot. So like, talk about 100% virtual working. Isn't that awesome? And then for me, I have all of my demo products. Usually it's all organized in a tote bag to go, right? But we're doing everything from home. So I literally was like, so tired of unpacking that and repacking that. I got one big clear tote bag and I literally dumped all of my demo skincare supplements and everything in there. So it's all in this tote bag. And so I can just shovel around in there, grab out what I want for my appointment online, do my pictures or whatever I'm doing, and I just dump it back in the tote bag. So that's worked for me right now. And then how about customer service office supplies? I would say the basics you need are some shopping bags. You can get the Mary Kay ones or get something else on another vendor. Tissue paper, wrap your customers' products in tissue paper, ladies. Nordstrom, I actually ordered some products for my daughter from Nordstrom for Christmas because she's lived with Mary Kay her whole entire 16 years of existence. And I felt like she was so frustrated that mom would never buy her anything else. So I did splurge and I bought her some eye makeup from Bobbi Brown. And they wrapped it up, guys. They wrapped it up so cute. They included some free samples. And so you gotta compete with that. So tissue paper, stickers, shopping bags, things like that, packaging tape, and bubble envelopes. So bubble envelopes like galore. And I get mine from, what is it? Is it Mailers USA, guys? Is that the one? Is that the name of it? I can't remember. I think it's Mailers USA. All right. So a couple other things. So what I would say is figure out, get your workspace clean and tidy. Gather up all your papers. I would say stuff it in a bag, a bin, and then kind of, clear it out, bring it all together into a big dump pile, and then be strategic and put it back where it goes, what needs to get tossed, what needs to get, that kind of a thing. Kind of like they do on the organization shows, right? And Linda Tupin was actually talking about this too. I'm referring to her a lot, but gosh, she's just so genius. She was just talking about this the other day, is the black trash bag thing. And so you literally go to your office and like swoop all the crap into the black trash bag and then start from scratch and then put it out from there. What needs to go, what needs to save, what needs to get filed, things like that, right? So if you feel like you've got a big fat mess on your hands, maybe consider the black trash bag when we go to break, and see what that can do for you. All right. Let's see. Oh yeah, demo, personal use, receipts and all that. Accordion file. I need to show you an accordion file. So are we going here, Tina? Okay. So this is not one that it's not prepared, but you guys know these, right? The accordion file. So in here, you can have your different file folders, and each section will be for different receipts, packaging slips that come with your product shipments. You're gonna put your personal use receipts in there. You're gonna put your demo log of what you took off your shelf for demo in there. So that's a section. And you can get all of these section labels on InTouch, right? So if you go to the tax area, you can get all the categories of what you need to file separately in the folders. And so whenever my packing receipts come from my shipments, I put them in my file folder for those. any business supplies that you're buying. So your DIMO label writer, guys, tax write-off. It's not going to be until the end of this year, but hey, tax write-off. You know, your ring light, those things are all going to be tax write-offs. So you're going to save all that business supplies in that file folder. Okay. Any questions so far? Do you guys have a filing system? Anybody have? Yeah. Okay, good. And then right now you're going to want to take your end of year inventory, count up all your product, how many of each thing you have, so that you know what you need for your taxes filing here soon as. All right. What else?
Emily?
Yes.
So for time, to save time, do you put your, like, if you pull something from your shelf, like I'm going to use a botanical, whatever. Do you, what I do is I throw the box in. Okay.
Yep. Same. And if my kids take something off the shelf, they leave the box on the dresser here. And that's the spot so that I know that something has been taken from the shelf. And then also, this reminds me, this dresser right here, this used to be Elizabeth's bedroom dresser. And it was white and I painted it with chalk paint. And then I took off the bottom drawer and turned it into a shelf. And so repurpose things from the house to use your office. So this has like my 10 million mirrors that we're not using right now. It's got a drawer that's like all my samples for when I do customer reorders. The top drawer is my packing tape, shopping bags and stickers, because that's where my DIMO is and my scale. And so then I'll just kind of stuff the bags or the envelopes and send them out from there. And the bottom has my washcloths and some prize, like, you know, hostess little gifties or raffle prize gifties and things. So repurposing old furniture is cool too.
Joanne, did you have a question?
Not a question, but just something that might be helpful for people is that you're talking about the boxes. And I just go ahead and write on the box, you know, the flap at the top, the year, and I'll say personal or demo.
Good.
You know, and just throw them in a drawer and then count it up at the end of the year. If it doesn't come in a box like the Mint Bliss, I'll save the cap, you know, that sort of thing. The other thing is inventory. That a super easy way to count up your inventory is to do as if you're going to do an order.
Yep.
Right. And just, you know, it's a fake order basically, but it's and it totals it all up and it's so easy.
Yeah. I learned that from Kristen Sharp once. Thank you for sharing. And
Sure.
I was like, why hadn't I done that sooner? It's like saved me on the math, because I used to fill out the little consultant, like, you know, the skinny little thing with our part numbers and all that junk. Oh my gosh. And then try to do the math and I failed at the math and it was all wrong, you know? Yeah. So good. And then something I'll say too, ladies, once you have your office and your systems kind of ready to go, I usually, like, the end of the month, as I'm like, we're closing out the month that night, putting in last month orders, like, start tidying up your office again. Like, it needs it. And the first of the month, like, you have to do those things so that you can, like Kristen Sharp says, slow down so you can speed up. You have to give attention to those things, to like, okay, like each month refreshing. What do we need to clean up? What do we need to file? What do I need to organize? What profile cards still need to get entered? So that last day of the month, the first day of the month, being prepared so you can be off and running again.
For sure. So a dedicated place also for all of your tax receipts. So anything that you've spent on your business, and even if you're like, where's that tax form and what am I supposed to hold on to? Just save them in a box. Save them in a box. And if you need a little bit more help with that, go ahead and ask your consultant or your director and they can kind of help you piece that out. But like, I love what Emily's saying. There's like dedicated places for the processes of your business. So samples and bags and packing stuff is in one place and that's all organized. And then like your product is in one place. And just so if you have it at different places in your house, at least those processes are in the same place. Would you say, Emily, that's kind of true? Just
yeah. So when I had my product in my pantry, and then I would work from either my bedroom desk or the kitchen table, like I had my product there, the tissue paper there, and the bags there, all in the pantry.
Right.
At that time, I didn't mail as much stuff, but
That's really
and
good.
then yeah, I guess my virtual stuff I started storing in, or I mean, my stuff to go to parties, I started leaving that luggage kind of stuff in the garage because I was sick of having it in the house because I didn't need it in the house. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and then Tina, one thing with receipts that you were talking about, nowadays, a lot of people are offering you to get it via email. And so what I do is I always pick the email option, and then I have a file in my email that's labeled receipts, and any Mary Kay receipt, I just put that email in that file.
Yes.
So then it's less papers I have to hold on to, because I will lose a box of receipts. I have lost a box of receipts. It just happens. But if it's in my email, it's there. So that has been a good positive thing from 2020, is everyone's going touchless. So I've been able to get virtual or emailed receipts.
For sure. That's good. And I like what Joanne was saying too, like your boxes, labeling them personal, because that's a tax write-off, not personal, but your tax person needs to know what you've taken for yourself and what you've taken for demonstration or making samples. Because a lot of us, like Emily said, we're not doing demos right now, except maybe on ourselves. So those, you need those fresh products to look beautiful. So if your products that you're showing and doing on your face are looking kind of nasty, throw them out, get a new one for yourself. So all of that stuff can be refreshed, but that has to go on a separate sheet. That doesn't go on your weekly accomplishment sheet. When you sell something to yourself, yay for you, but that doesn't go into your weekly sales goal, right? Or your sales tally. So that needs to be on a different sheet. So if that seems overwhelming to you, throw it in a box. And then like Joanne said, at the end of I'd like to do it monthly, put it on an Excel spreadsheet, and just, what you took, how much it is, and just have it there, and then get rid of your boxes and start over at the next month. So so there was a lot here. So hopefully you took some good notes and you can kind of piece out what you need to do. Emily, was there anything else?
One other thing, when you were talking about demo, what I did when I unpacked all my stuff is, by the time we get to see people again, our demo stuff is going to probably be old and crusty and dusty. So like I ran out of my moisturizers and I was like, oh, well, I'm going to just take that to my bathroom and use it up. So go through, because when we go back to in person, you're going to want to have everything fresh and new. So use up your demo stuff for yourself right now, the stuff that's your formulas and things. And just, why not? Right?
For sure.
Leslie has a question.
Yes. Leslie.
So something I've done is in my customer file, I actually made a customer for personal, for demo, and I just log it right there, and it's already done. So I don't have to save boxes to take up space.
I do that too. I have one for me, one for my daughter, one for my demos, one for one for, I think, giveaways and donations. I made a customer for each one of those. I that's exactly what I do. At the end of the year, I just push the report and it's added everything up, and I'm not keeping boxes because I will lose them. Michelle?
Oh, one thing I wanted to add to the brain book thing before I forget is tracking sheets. So this even has like my tracking sheets for the year, the quarter for your star tracking. So everything, like it's all there, and like you just have it, right? Less paper floating around, it's contained. Although I have a big board with a lot of that stuff now, but before I had it in my binder.
For sure.
Michelle, did you have a question?
Yes, I was just gonna ask, how did you do that again, Tracy? Like, what is that in the system?
Oh, no, it's in the My Customer. I do it in the My Customer app. So like when you add a new customer, I just added a customer named Demos. I added a customer under my own name. I have a 12-year-old daughter that likes to get stuff. So I added a customer with her name, and I taught her how to put her stuff in there. So I don't got to do it, but one for demo, one for me, one for my daughter, one that for samples, for giveaways, all of that stuff. And then at the end of the year, you can see what your customers have bought through the year, and it totals it up. So I just put it in as like an order.
Oh, perfect.
And then it just is not a finished order, I guess.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And the boxes are for when you just don't have time to sit down and do that. That's where you keep the box, and you have a specific place that you throw the box, and then you can add all that up later. Perfect.
Yeah.
That could be like, Tina, like when you collect the boxes all month long, that could be like part of your end of the month system.
Exactly. So, okay, girls, so we're a little bit over time. So what we're going to do is we're going to push my training. I'm going to shorten it. And this was really, really good. Emily, thank you so much for, I took crazy notes. So I want you to pick the top 3 things that we talked about that are screaming at you, that you can either start to organize, get a system started, or complete something, or if you know what I'm saying, but don't take it all on. I would say take those top 3 things, and then you can, when that's done, you can take the next 3 things as you go, and sprinkle this in to your work time, before 9 or after 9 or whatever. But those things that you want to put into place right now. And I'm going to give you guys 40 minutes to get this rocked out. So let's come back at 11:09, and we'll start the next section at 11:10. Okay, so directors will be standing by, not on Zoom, but via like phone or whatever. So if you have questions and you need something answered really quick, call your director. Emily, we're just going to use the same Zoom link to come back then?
Yeah, yep, same Zoom link, guys.
Okay, perfect.
Yay.
All right.
Have
I'm
fun.
so excited for you guys to organize. I love it. I can't wait.
Put on some music in your headband and get to work. See you guys in a
Yes.
bit.
Got it.
Bye.